But this story was not really talked about. It's pretty unbelievable, right? I did not really hear too many people. Go ahead.
I saw like one person, you know, and I saw Reddit had picked it up. It got picked up more in the mainstream stuff, I think, a little bit, right? But like maybe for a day, not like I saw like hey, they might need help rebuilding. You know, I saw Reddit, you know, there's an echo. There you go.
Yeah, I got it.
The I saw where like they did like the data of some laser thing that they could use to like see actual debris that was moved, and dude, it like picked up the city just like all the way up to like 30,000 feet. It was like ridiculous.
I mean, this tornado. I got to give a special shout out to Andrea Germanos from CommonDreams, who wrote a series of just super powerful articles covering this in detail for CommonDreams. And really, this was the only place I saw coverage this deep about what was going on from an uncorrupted lefty outlet. And WSWS caught it. Reef's audio is way low. All right, let me see if I can fix that.
I can also gain up a little bit. You can fix me in Discord, probably easier.
Okay.
Just user volume. Discord.
Yep, I put you at 150 now. All right, let's see. Tell me if that's any better. Oh, that definitely sounds better here. So this was, again, we've lost, God, more than 80 Kentuckians, more than 100 people lost, ripped through Mayfield. Again, we know about what happened at this candle factory, and we're going to look at the candle factory in a second. Just awful, just absolutely awful. So check that out. Look at, and again, same cover photo, but now you learn about what this was. This was actually a candle factory, if you can believe it or not. All right, this is a bird's eye view. You can see the diggers. This is, I mean, the footprint is massive. An aerial view of debris and structural damage at the Mayfield Consumer Products candle factory.
Was there anyone in there like there was at the Amazon facility that had to deal with this tornado as well? Where people straight up died while on shift because they couldn't send them home.
Well, that's pretty much what happened. At least 5 workers said supervisors warned employees that they'd be fired if they left their shifts early.
Fuck you.
If you leave, you are likely to be fired. 20-year-old Elijah Johnson joined other workers in approaching supervisors to request to leave their shifts. If I asked to leave, they told me I'd be fired. Even with weather like this, you're still going to fire me? Yes. Wow.
Jesus.
Beyond horrific, Robert Reich and Storm of the Century, except that the Storm of the Century happens every year now. Okay, CEO of Renegade Candle Company is... Wow. Just no graphics with this post. Just straight from the office.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, capitalism laid bare is right, Eric Thomas. And, you know, the tornado didn't just hit Kentucky, but what I didn't realize is that this actually went through Kentucky, but it also went through Edwardsville, Illinois. Okay, and I believe St. Louis as well. Yeah, a St. Louis area warehouse that left at least 6 people dead. Again, Andrea Germanos on all 3 of these articles, just stellar. So appreciate the coverage that she put out, and give CommonDreams a follow for sure. If you can donate to support their organization, they are consistently one of the best publications that I put out there, and they may not be, there's no publication that's 100% right 100% of the time. I disagree with some of their opinions. They regularly platform Norman Solomon and Ralph Nader, who I love. But again, so we've got here, time and again, Amazon puts its bottom line above the lives of its employees. Requiring workers to work through such major tornado warning events as this was inexcusable. And I saw a series of tweets a series of texts between a boss and an employee who was just begging, like, I don't want to be here. And they're like, shelter in place. Company says shelter in place. That's all they could say. So again, this is the president of the RWDSU requiring work. Okay, inexcusable. An outbreak of over 20 devastating tornadoes late Friday tore through multiple states and killed dozens of people affected in Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi, Missouri, and Tennessee.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. The walls on both sides of the building collapsed inward, causing the roof to fall. The 11-inch thick, 40 feet tall walls could not sustain the tornado that hit the building Friday night. I mean, that's an EF-3.
Yep.
Okay, one person
it's
was
just crazy. Like, how do you not send these guys home? That's what I want to know.
Well, it comes in quickly, and they don't. The problem is that a company like that is is more like a battleship than a race car. So when you need when you need to make a decision so quickly, it's sometimes really difficult to get that person quickly enough to make it in time. And it's eesh.
I mean, but when you're having tornado warnings, shut down the plant for a day. Like, you know.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, they absolutely should do that. I agree with you 100%. We've got something going on here in the chat. Again, this is what the storm looked like. YouTube Barbara Reeves. I don't know who that is.
Yeah. But anyway,
remove that.
So yeah, that entire area would have had to okay.
As some observers pointed out, Amazon previously failed to close warehouses in face of extreme weather events. Right, shelter in place. Guy needs a shelter. That's in his car. The car's going to get lifted right up by the storm. It's unbelievable. Okay, sorry, but thoughts and prayers from Amazon CEO. This was a killer tweet. Again, blue check Brian Kahn. This is the third time in 6 months Amazon workers have been working in the path of deadly weather. Record-smashing heat in the PNW. Ida floods in New York City. Last night's tornadoes were well forecast. I was almost about to say tomatoes, and that's a whole different kind of storm. And not a joking matter where you've got 6 people who were at work.
Yeah.
I mean, like
people's lives on the line. Like, yeah, you can't you can't do that nonsense. Like,
for efficiency. I mean, wow. Oh boy, Uncle Warren has entered the building.
Nice.
Okie doke. Diddly doo, diddly doo. That's the end of segment 1, and that is the end of depressing segment 1. I also, so I wanted to talk a little bit about, and before we do, let me go back here. And even though it's CNN, which I hate, and I can't stand giving amplification, I will give them credit that between them and Reuters, they did list the where's Warren? Here we go. Bump up Reese audio again. You got it. Okay.
I just did it, and I can also do this.
Nice. So, that's much better. So I'm going to say the names: DeAndre Morrow, Kevin Dickey, Clayton Lincope.
Can you understand the words that are coming out my mouth?
Etheria Heb.
Yes. Cool.
Larry Verdon. Austin McEwen. Rest in peace. Rest in power.
It just pisses me off that we didn't have to do that. Like that. Anyway, it just sucks. Like, fuck Amazon.
Saddened at the loss of life at the facility and beyond. Like,
oh, of course. Until they want them to come back to work, and I would not show back up.
They had been directed to shelter in bathrooms by Amazon managers after receiving emergency alerts on mobile phones from local authorities. The first warning was issued 40 minutes before the tornado hit.
And I'm sure they weren't like, did they even count as shelter? That's the thing, right? If you're not rated for that tornado, like.
Well, especially if the walls don't hold up the damn ceiling.
Yeah, exactly.
What's good is sitting in the bathroom if there aren't walls.
Yeah.
150 yards of the building collapsed after the tornado touchdown.
150 yards. That's a football field and a half, people. Like,
that's exactly the analogy I was going to see. So you took that out of my mouth. So again, credit to CNN, I have to say, and Reuters on that for giving the details.
Well, you better get hip to indie left, indie left, indie left.news.